What have you learned about technologies from the process of constructing this product?
I think mainly we learnt a lot about Photoshop, didn't we?
Definitely, yeah. Even though us three were sort of, familiar with it, it still definitely
improved our skills.
improved our
Yeah,
skills.
because we needed to mainly edit the photos since they needed to look professional, and it was through Photoshop that we did this, and it was kind of crucial we did it to a high quality to make the photos look high
Yeah, the
quality.
brightness we changed the brightness of contrasting to obviously make it look a lot more professional. Because when we looked at other magazines, like for instance Rolling Stone magazine, their photos were very bright, and we wanted to bring that across.
Yeah.
And there were sort of little things that, like imperfections on the skin, and like I had Will in one of my pictures and there was kind of a glare and reflection on his glasses, so it was like just getting rid of kind of little things to make the photos look more professional.
Yeah. Also, I think one other thing I think we've all learned a bit more about is when we edited videos when we were doing our photos.
Definitely, yeah, using iMovie.
Yeah, using iMovie, like cutting it, streaming it together, adding
Making
recordings
a video a bit more
Yeah.
interesting, not just watching someone talk. It was
And also kind of looking at kind of the photo composition, like the different angles, because when we did our photo shoot, we found that some angles looked really good,
Yeah.
and then if we did other angles, it just looked absolutely awful, and it was learning which ones actually looked nice and which ones just you didn't need to use at all.
Looking back at your preliminary task, what do you feel you have learnt in the progression from it to the full product?
I think when we originally did the preliminary, we realised that the masthead was the most crucial thing in it, and it had to be eye-catching because that's what everybody commented on when we showed them.
And
Yeah.
it needed to be bold, it needed to fit with the genre, and it needed to kind of, that's what really created your house style.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah,
attracted
because
the
they
audience,
really
it would
like
be
the
familiar,
font,
and we needed one that stood out.
We also found that on our preliminary, we had lots of white spaces, which didn't really look very professional, and it looked very, secondary school poster.
We
it
needed
didn't- we
to
wanted
find interesting ways of filling it but without making it too crowded.
Exactly, yeah. Because we found that between the masthead and the photo, there was always a massive gap. So we tried to make on our actual ones our picture bigger. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think originally we all wanted our pictures to be filmed outside, but then, photographed outside, but then when we did the preliminary we realised that the lighting wasn't right, and it would be better to do it in a studio to make it look very professional.
Yeah, and it was a lot better to have just a plain white background, which if you wanted to edit, we could do later on, but it just made it a lot more simple, and it made the picture stand out more than if there was something going on in the background, which would kind of take your eye and just look too crowded and crowded.
Also,
Just that,
I was going to say, on the cell lines, when we did the preliminary task, they were very
Bulky.
very bulky. There was a lot of writing, and you don't. If you're in a shop, you're not going to go up and read a full block of writing that's
You
on the
want
front page.
quick,
You want
snappy lines.
short,
Yeah.
You can read it at a glance.
And
And
you
I know
think-
on mine I had big chunks of writing, and then on my final one I made sure they were snappy, they were short, and they were just a lot easier to read.
Yeah, we just realised that the preliminaries were pretty unprofessional, didn't we?
That was
So
the
we wanted
main
to,
thing,
to make it look good.
Yeah, I learned a lot
It
from
needed
them.
to look like a magazine you would want to buy from
Yes.
a
not just something,
newsagent.
child made, yeah.